Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 podcast. We're busy having fun here on Level 1, and I got a cat on my lap. What's going on, everyone? I'm Phil, and welcome to the show. Today is, I lost my train of thought when he jumped on my lap. Today is Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. How is everyone today? Hope you're doing well. I'm having a chaotic day today, and what I mean by that is not a normal day where I would have my normal routine, because of this little guy right here. This guy threw me for a loop this morning. So, I'll tell you the story. Some days my wife opens at her job, and that entails that she has to get up much earlier than me, by about 2 hours, 2.5 hours earlier than me, which is all well and dandy, except that we have a cat. And when you have a cat, the cat wakes up with the person. So when my wife, cat, is getting up, like 7 in the morning, that means Jasper the cat is also getting up at 7 in the morning. That also means that Jasper the cat is bored because cat is having breakfast, showering, getting ready for work, which is not particularly interesting things for Jasper the cat. So, Jasper, does some hijinks. By the way, the camera is definitely off. You notice that? And I tried to fix it yesterday, and now it's wrong again, so I have to, lower the camera again. Hold on a second, I think I know what's going on here. Yep, I'm stupid. Hold on. I was like, why is it, so close, extreme zoom in? That's why. Because I didn't make the camera fit the frame. There we go, that's better. So anyway, basically I'm trying to get some extra sleep because I don't have to get up for, another 2 hours. Typically, I don't know, it depends on the day. Oh, my controller batteries are low, this is telling me, even though my controller is off. How does it know? Maybe the controller was on and it went idle. Well, I'm going to swap that in a second. So basically, on a normal day, I'll get up around typically it's between 8 and 9, usually on the later side, closer to 9. But it depends on the day, and it depends on what else is going on. On a certain day, maybe I want to shower before stream, or if I know there's more going on in the morning, I need to get done before stream, or if it's just a typical day, usually what I do is I get up, I usually shower the day or the night before, so I get up and I kind of wash up a little bit, get a washcloth, wash my face or whatever, brush my hair, eat some breakfast, brush my teeth or whatever, and then get ready for the stream. So I still had, a couple hours left to get some rest. Jasper would have none of that, okay? Jasper would have absolutely positively none of that. He's like, you are not getting any more rest. So he's dancing on the bed, on me. He's trying to wake me up. He's nudging me. He's doing every possible thing to try to get me awake, even though I don't need to be awake. And I'm like, oh, Jasper, you gotta stop, man. It's ridiculous. So I basically kind of drift back into a half sleep. It's kind of hard to fully sleep again. My wife's getting ready for work, and there's noise in the house and everything. So it's not like I can fully get a great rest or anything regardless, but trying to get here we go. It's a little better because it was too, I felt that was too. What's funny is this is what the camera will want to be at naturally. I look too yellow, so it's kind of like I gotta find that in between. There you go. That's better, right? So I find all right, I'm gonna get a little bit of natural, get some rest, another hour or two maybe. So I'm drifting in and out of sleep, and I start hearing whoop, 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 whoop. Now, anyone who has a cat knows what that means. Immediate disaster. That cat is about to vomit everywhere. What is the cat going to vomit, and how badly will the vomit be is, up in the air. You never know. So, the thing is, I'm half asleep, so it's not like I can wake up to stop him or anything. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. So, I'm just kind of I'm drifting in and out of sleep. So then, I actually hear later on, probably maybe an hour later, I hear my wife talking to Jasper downstairs, and she goes, oh, Jasper, I can't believe you just did that, and I'm literally walking out the door to get to work. I hope Phil sees that when he wakes up. I'm on the way out. She must have had her arms full of all her stuff for work, heading out to the garage. What's she going to do, stop everything to clean up vomit when she's already on the way out the door? Of course not. So, I actually ended up getting up way earlier than usual, because usually, like I said, I would get up between, the 8 on the, second half, 8 into almost 9, but I ended up just getting up, and I start looking around the house, and I'm like, oh my god, this cat. So he had hairballs, and he doesn't always have hairballs. It's not like a regular thing with him. It's actually, I'd say, he only gets hairballs at most once a month, and maybe not even that. It's actually quite rare when he gets them. I think what it is right now we had the change of seasons. So last month, maybe some extra grooming, some extra shedding. We do brush him regularly. So it's not like he's an overabundance of loose hair, but it just happens. It's a natural thing with cats. You just have to kind of deal with it. You have a cat, there's going to be hairballs involved. The problem was he decided to barf everywhere. Like, he barfed on the comforter on our bed, and the whole comforter has a giant fucking stain with hair and vomit. And like, oh, God. And then he did it multiple places throughout the house. And I'm like, I guarantee you, it's not just one or two. It's probably all over. And I was right. Like, I basically had to go on a fucking vomit scavenger hunt this morning. It's very disgusting. And I found probably about 3 different places. No, 4. I think it was, 3 places where I found hairballs, and one place it was just a little bit of, like, spit. So I had to clean up the whole house this morning. And then in addition to that, I had to clean the comforter, because obviously I'm not going to leave that disgusting comforter on the bed. So I threw that in the wash, but the comforter takes about an hour to wash. And actually, just about now, like, no exaggeration, it should be finishing in the washer. So once I finish this intro to the podcast, I'm actually going to run downstairs and throw the comforter from the washer into the dryer. And then by the time the podcast ends, the comforter should be dry. And if not, I can run it for a second cycle, and then it'll definitely be dry. Okay? In fact, I think I just heard it go off. It just went off right now. I just heard it. It went click, and then it plays a little ditty. I have a LG washer, so when it's done with its cycle, it actually plays a little song through your house. It's like a happy little song. It's kind of nice, and also lets you know that, oh, that's the unmistakable sound that my clothes are done. So yeah, this morning has kind of thrown me into disarray from what I normally would do. I certainly didn't get my normal relaxing morning where I get to stare at nature and sip on my coffee and do my normal stuff. Instead, it was me running around the house, cleaning up messes, throwing things in the wash, and basically rushing to try to get here to stream. That's why I had tweeted, oh, I might be late. Luckily, I was not. Okay? So, if you could bear with me, give me a second. I'll run downstairs quick. I'll just toss that comforter into the dryer. I'll swap out my battery on my controller, which now tells me it's dead. And then we'll actually get started with the real podcast. We got a lot to talk about today. Let me go toss the comforter into the dryer. It'll be like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. You'll hear me do it. I'll leave the mic on. You'll probably hear me plodding through the house. Here we go. All right, so if you guys could do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Those who are here live, that is. If you're here watching on demand, you can't really help me that much. But if you're here live, at the end of today's podcast, before we begin with gameplay, can you remind me to run downstairs, excuse me, and check on that? You just say run downstairs and check on the laundry or whatever, because I want to make sure that it's done. I don't want to leave it in there soggy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure that it's actually dry. I don't want. That's the worst thing you want to do with laundry. Leave it in there and it's soggy as shit, and then it smells terrible, right? So at the end of the show today, if you guys can remember, hey Phil, you're doing laundry. Can you go check on it? I would appreciate that. Okay. All right. Hopefully someone remembers, because if I don't, it's going to be a bad situation. If you wash laundry of any kind, whether it's whether it's a clothing, whether it's towels, whether it's a comforter, bedding, if you just leave it in the washer or dryer for that matter, and it's not dry, you might as well have never washed it, because it ends up getting stinky because it's still wet and damp, and that's gross. So hopefully I remember. If you guys could remind me, that'd be great. Yeah, it's nasty. It smells like, exactly, mildew would be the best way to describe it, like a moldy smell. You're like, oh, come on. Now I got to wash them again, like I never did. And then you feel like you just wasted your time, right?